Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're rolling up our sleeves and digging into the field-tested, practical secrets of cultivating high-yield papayas right here in the Philippines. Speaking from years of actual dirt-under-the-fingernails experience, I'm going to show you how to set up everything from a massive commercial field down to a thriving urban balcony harvest. Papayas are incredibly fast-growing and, honestly, uniquely rewarding, but they do require a very specific roadmap to get from a tiny seed to that sweet golden fruit. So let's just dive right in. To make this super actionable for you, we've structured this explainer chronologically. We'll follow the plant's rapid life cycle through 4 stages: the foundation, the sprout, the shield, and finally, the reward. All right, stage 1, the foundation. Let's look at genetics and your growing environment. Listen, your very first choice dictates your entire farm. For commercial growers, hybrids are usually the way to go. The Red Lady F1 is famous for yielding massive harvests. We're talking over 30 fruits per plant. The Sinta F1, on the other hand, gives you absolutely crucial resistance to the devastating papaya ring spot virus, or PRSV. But there's a catch. You can't replant hybrid seeds. So if you want a dual-purpose fruit for cooking and eating fresh, and you want the ability to save and replant your own seeds year after year, a reliable heirloom like the Cavite Special is definitely a farmer's best friend. Now, here's a secret we rely on out in the fields. Not all papaya plants are actually going to give you fruit. Papayas can be male, female, or hermaphrodite. The male plants only produce flowers, the females produce the fruit, and hermaphrodites produce both. Because cross-pollination by insects is literally required for fruiting, identifying and keeping your female and hermaphrodite plants while culling the excess males is a total veteran move to maximize your annual yield. Honestly, you only need a few males around to keep the whole pollination cycle going. So let's talk dirt. The single most crucial point about your environment is drainage. Papaya roots are notoriously susceptible to root rot, also known as phytophthora. Establishing well-draining, sandy loam soil with a slightly acidic pH between 6.0 and 6.5 is absolutely non-negotiable before you even think about planting. If you've got heavy clay or waterlogged soil, you have to amend it with compost or organic matter to improve that structure. If you don't, your commercial yield is going to fail before it even starts. Moving right along to stage 2, the sprout. This is all about preparation and planting. Do not just toss your seeds in the dirt. This precise 4-step process is the ultimate hack for backyard and commercial success alike. Fresh papaya seeds are covered in this gelatinous little sac that actually inhibits growth, so you must wash that coating away. Once they're clean, let them air dry for 1 to 2 days, then soak them in warm water for about 12 hours right before planting to really kickstart the process. Finally, sow them nice and shallow, just 1 to 1.5 centimeters deep in your seed trays. Following this exact prep significantly accelerates your germination rates. Check this out. This timeline brilliantly illustrates the incredibly fast growth cycle of the plant. If you treated those seeds right, you're going to see sprouts in just 14 days. By week 6, they're ready for the ground. By month 6, you'll see flowers. And, as crazy as it sounds, you can go from a single tiny seed to a golden harvest in under a year. Now, if you're an urban grower and you don't have open field space, you might be looking at that rapid timeline and wondering, hey, can I still get in on this harvest if I only have a patio? The answer is a resounding yes. You absolutely can cultivate papayas in city spaces, provided you strictly follow some modified rules to compensate for that confined root environment. You're going to need a very large container with ample drainage holes. Because pots dry out much faster and nutrients wash away way quicker than they do in an open field, you have to actively increase your watering and fertilizer frequency. Basically, you just treat the pot like a highly intensive microfarm. For those of you planting straight into the soil, timing is everything. Whether you're planting a commercial row or just a couple in the backyard, we always transplant during the dry season, which is between November and May in the Philippines. This minimizes the risk of fungal diseases and waterlogging. A quick pro tip, do your transplanting on a cloudy late afternoon. This heavily minimizes shock and heat stress to those delicate roots. Oh, and remember to space your plants 2.5 to 3 meters apart. They need room for good airflow and full sun, meaning 6 to 8 hours of direct light every single day. Okay, stage 3, the shield. Now our focus shifts entirely to care and defense. This long-term feeding schedule right here is your master key to success. In the early seedling stage, stick to gentle organic feeds like vermicast every 2 weeks to really encourage that root growth. As the plant enters the vegetative stage, you'll want to switch to a balanced 14-14-14 NPK fertilizer every 3 weeks. But notice this crucial shift. During the fruiting stage, we actually drop the nitrogen and boost the potassium with a 10-20-20 mix. Why? Because excess nitrogen late in the game just creates tall, weak trunks and fewer fruits. Potassium-rich feeds guarantee better fruit setting and much sweeter flesh. Let's talk pests. Commercial and backyard growers alike constantly battle aphids, mealybugs, and fruit flies. But we want to avoid relying on harsh synthetic chemical sprays. For aphids and mealybugs, which leave the sticky residue and stunt the plant's growth, use organic biological controls. Neem oil or a simple insecticidal soap spray works absolute wonders. You can even release predatory ladybugs to literally do the pest control for you. For fruit flies, setting up organic fruit fly traps is incredibly effective at stopping them from laying eggs in your developing harvest. Here is another seasoned farmer's trick I use to reduce chemical reliance: companion planting. Try intercropping your papaya with marigolds, basil, lemongrass, or chili. These plants create a natural aromatic shield that actively repels pests like those aphids and mealybugs we just talked about. It's just a fantastic ecological way to optimize your space while fiercely protecting your main crop. And finally, stage 4, the reward. Let's talk harvesting. Just look at that number, 30 to 60. That is the staggering amount of fruit that a single, well-maintained papaya tree can pump out for you every single year during its prime. Since these trees have a productive lifespan of about 3 to 4 years, the yield from just a handful of correctly managed plants is truly phenomenal. But please don't just guess when to pick your fruit. Precision matters, especially if you're taking these to market. Rely on these exact visual and tactile signs. Wait until the skin reaches 25 to 30% yellow-green. Then give it a very gentle press. It should feel slightly soft to the touch, and you'll notice it emits a distinctly sweet, fragrant aroma. That's your cue. Your papaya has reached peak maturity, maximum sweetness, and is officially ready for the table. The field-tested strategies in this explainer prove that a bountiful yield, whether it's a massive commercial Sinta hybrid crop or a simple backyard Cavite special, is entirely within your reach. You've got the blueprint for the soil, the seeds, and the shield. So with a golden harvest waiting just 9 months away, what variety are you going to put in the ground first? Get out there, get your hands dirty, and start planting.